Hello students, welcome to the course on chemistry. In that we are discussing about hydrocarbons. In previous lecture we have studied about alkanes, how to prepare the alkanes, what are the properties of alkanes as physical properties as well as chemical properties. All those things we have studied. Now we will discuss about the another class of hydrocarbons, that is alkenes. So alkenes are unsaturated hydrocarbons containing at least one double bond. So it belongs to unsaturated hydrocarbons. As you know, unsaturated hydrocarbons, they at least contain double or triple bond. And if there is a presence of one double bond, then it is said to be alkene. And this can be determined by using the formula, that is CnH2n. If a given compound satisfies this formula, then it is considered to be alkene. And here n represent the number of carbon atoms present in the given hydrocarbon. And these alkenes are also known as olefins. Olefins means oil forming. So why they are said to be olefins? Because in alkenes the first member is ethylene or ethene, whose formula is C2H4, was found to form an oily liquid on reaction with chlorine. So whenever the ethene will react with chlorine, it will form an oily liquid, and thus these are said to be olefins. Okay, so as you know, alkanes are said to be paraffins. Paraffins means alkanes. The reason for that is they are inert, means they won't react with acids, bases and other reagents at normal conditions. In the similar manner, alkenes are said to be olefins because on reaction with chlorine they will form oily liquid. Okay, then the presence of a pi bond makes alkenes behave as sources of loosely held mobile electrons. That means here the first member of the alkenes is ethene. Here the structure is given CH2 CH2, that is C2H4, as you can observe in this diagram. Now here double bond is there in case of alkenes. In case of double bond, one of the bond which is present is sigma bond. The bond which is present is sigma bond, and another bond is present will be pi bond. So pi bond is usually weaker because it is formed by sideways overlapping of atomic orbitals. So when atomic orbitals undergo sideways overlapping, then they will form the pi bond. And in similarly, if the atomic orbitals they will undergo head-on overlapping or axial overlapping, then they will form sigma bond. So sigma bond is usually strong because it undergoes head-on overlapping, and pi bond is usually weak because it is formed by sideways overlapping of atomic orbitals. So thus the two bonds are present in the alkene. One is sigma bond and another one is pi bond. That pi bond is formed by sideways overlapping of p atomic orbitals. Okay, so when p atomic orbitals undergo sideways overlapping, the pi bond is formed, and this is the structure of ethene. And since the pi bond is weak, so thus the alkanes are easily attacked by reagents or compounds which are in search of electrons. So whatever compound or reagent which needs electrons, it can easily attack to the alkene because pi bond is weaker. Okay, So the electrons which are involved in the formation of pi bond are said to be pi electrons. So the compounds which are having deficiency of electron, they can easily attack to the alkenes and they can gain the pi electrons from the given compound. So thus the reagents which will attack to the alkenes and gains the electron are said to be electrophilic reagents. So electrophilic reagents means they are electron attracting or electron seeking reagents. Means they have deficiency of electron, thus they will attack to the compounds where they can get the loosely held mobile electrons, as in case of alkenes. They get pi electrons easily and thus they will attack and gains the electrons from alkenes. Such reagents are said to be electrophilic reagents. And the presence of weaker pi bond makes alkenes unstable molecules in comparison to the alkanes. As you know, in case of alkanes, only sigma bond is there. There will be no presence of pi electrons. So thus the sigma bond is stronger only, and thus to attack that, the reagents should be added to the alkanes at different conditions. Then only the reaction will take place. But in alkenes, the weaker pi bond is there. Thus it can easily react with other compounds and thus that will makes alkenes unstable. So weaker the bond, higher will be the instability of molecules. Remember that. So alkenes are less stable compared to alkanes because of presence of weak pi bond. Now let us move to the IUPAC nomenclature of these alkenes. Again we have to follow the same rules that you have studied in IUPAC nomenclature. So I have taken some of the examples here. Now let's see the first one. Here the given compound, it consists of CH3, CH double bond, CH2. Since one double bond is there, it is a alkene. Now there are 3 carbon atoms are there. First you have to write the word root. If the number of carbon atoms is 3, then the word root which we use is prop. Okay. And here this double bond is there and thus primary suffix will be ENE. And at which carbon atom the double bond is there? You have to number this. The numbering should be such that the carbon containing double bond should get least number. So therefore we will start the numbering from left to right. So thus if we number this one will get 1, 2, 3. So thus at first carbon atom the double bond is there. So here we will use prop 1E. That is the IUPAC name of first compound. And if we observe the second one, here 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbon atoms are there. If 4 carbon atoms are there, then the word root that we use is but. And this double bond is there. And how you number this? Again we will number this from left side 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore here we will write but 1E. That is the name of the compound. Then the third one. Here how many carbon atoms are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So therefore again we will use the word root but. And double bond is there here. How you number this carbon chain? Again you can number this from any side because the number that the carbon atom will get is least from both the side. So you can give 1, 2, 3, 4 in this manner, or you can give 1, 2, 3, 4. So from both the sides, the carbon will get second number only. So therefore, here we will use the but2ene. This is the name of the compound. And fourth one, here the number of carbon atoms is again 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbon atoms are there. Therefore, the word root will be but. And double bond is there. Here also one double bond, here also one double bond. Totally 2 double bonds are there. If 2 double bonds are there, then we have to use the primary suffix as diene. If only single double bond is there, one double bond is there, then we use ene. If 2 double bonds are there, then we use diene. If 3 double bonds are there, then triene. 4 double bonds, tetraene. In that manner, we have to use the primary suffix. Now, at what positions these are present? You can number from any side. Here if we number this from here, right hand side to left hand side, what you will get? 1, 2, 3, 4. So at first carbon atom, double bond is there. So we will write but1, comma. Another double bond is there at third carbon. So we will write 3. 1, 3 diene. That is the name of another compound. So then fifth one. Again you have to select the longest chain. 1, 2, 3. So 3 carbon atoms are there. Therefore we use prop. And double bond is there. Therefore we will use ene. At what position it is there? Double bond is there at first carbon atom. So therefore we will write prop1ene. That is the primary suffix. And now here you can observe CH3 is attached to this chain. Then it is a substituent. If substituent is present, then we will use prefix. What is the prefix? Which group is attached? Methyl. So therefore, here we will use methyl as the prefix. At what position that methyl is there? At second position. Okay, first carbon, second carbon, third carbon. So at second carbon, CH3 is attached. So we will write 2-methyl prop1ene. That is the name of the fifth compound. Then sixth one, see here, CH2, CH, CH, CH3. Now again, in the longest chain, the 4 carbon atoms are there. What would be the name of the compound? But. And here one double bond is there. So therefore we will use ene as primary suffix. At what position it is there? At first position only. So therefore we will write but1ene. And here substituent group is attached. So which substituent group? Again it is methyl. So therefore, what is the name of the compound? Again you have to number this. 1, 2, 3, 4. At third position, methyl group is there. So we will use the prefix methyl and its position is at third. So 3-methyl but1ene. This is the name of the compound. So in this manner, we will name all the compound names. This is about the nomenclature of alkenes. Now we will see the isomerism in alkenes. As you know, in isomerism, molecular formula is same, but the structure is different or the arrangement of atoms in the molecule is different. So here alkenes show both structural isomerism and geometrical isomerism. First, we will study structural isomerism in case of alkenes. In alkenes, this is alkenes. So in alkenes, ethene and propene can have only one structure, but alkenes higher than propene have different structure. So initially ethene and propene, the first member and second member, they are having only one structure, but higher than these, the alkenes have different structures. So let's see one of the example, that is C4H8. What is the name of this compound? Obviously it is butene, because it consists of 4 carbon atoms. So butene, it is the name of the compound. Now the structure of the butene can be given like this: CH2, CH, CH2, CH3. Here double bond is present at the first position. Therefore, we can write it as but1ene. That is the one possible structure. Now this double bond can be present here also. So therefore, it will give another structure, that is but2ene. Okay. And again, now here we can shift the methyl group to this carbon atom. Then what we will get? CH2 double bond C, CH3, CH3. So 2-methyl prop 1ene. So these are the 3 different structures that are observed in case of butene. And here you can see the molecular formula is same in all these things. This is one of the example for isomerism in case of alkenes. There are 3 possible structures for butene. Now we will move to the stereoisomerism. Okay. So in stereoisomerism, that you have already learnt. So simply I have given the definition here. Stereoisomerism means the compounds having same molecular formula but different spatial arrangement of atoms or groups are called stereoisomers, and this phenomena is called stereoisomerism. As you all know, the molecular formula is same, but what is the difference in this stereoisomerism is the arrangement of atoms will be different. Okay, atoms or groups will be different in space. As you know, the molecules have 3-dimensional structure, and if they have 3-dimensional structure, the atoms may be present at different positions in the space. And then if they are having different arrangement, then that is said to be stereoisomer, and that phenomena is said to be stereoisomerism. And in stereoisomerism, there are different types, and for you only geometrical isomerism is given because it is shown by alkenes. So now what does this geometrical isomerism means? Here also the isomers have same molecular formula but different spatial arrangement of atoms about the double bond. Then that kind of isomers are said to be geometrical isomers. See here, the arrangement of atoms is different in double bond. Okay, so then we call it as geometrical isomerism. Now let us study what are the essential conditions for exhibiting geometrical isomerism. The compound must contain at least one double bond. Okay, as in definition only you have seen, if the arrangement is different in around double bond, then only the compound will say to exhibit geometrical isomerism. And second condition is the groups present at the double bonded carbon atoms must be different. So both groups which are attached to the carbon should not be same, they should be different. And one similar group should be present at the adjacent double bond. So one should be same and another should be different. Let's see one example, then you will come to know. In case of but2ene, here we can write CH3CH double bond CH3. Okay, if we write the butene, but2ene, we can write it as CH3CH double bond CH3. This is the linear chain. Now, the another way of writing this structure is given here. CH3CH3HH. Now, as you can observe here, the double bond is there. One double bond is there. And in first structure, CH3 and CH3 are present at same side. And hydrogen atom, H atom and here H atom is present at same side. Now, in second structure, you can observe CH3 is present opposite to another CH3 which is attached to another carbon. And hydrogen is also present at the opposite side. It is said to be geometrical isomerism. If a compound exhibits this kind of structures, okay, where you can observe the molecular formula is same and position is also same, but the arrangement is different. So here the two different groups are there. One is CH3, another one is H. And at one structure they are arranged at the same side, and at another structure they are arranged at opposite side. Okay, for the same carbon atom, the arrangement of atom or groups is different. Then we will call it as geometrical isomerism. Okay, so here if the groups, one of the groups are present at the same side of the compound, then such kind of geometrical isomers are said to be cis isomers. If the functional groups or atoms are present opposite side, then such kind of geometrical isomers are said to be trans isomers. So there are two types, cis isomer and trans isomers. Okay, so remember this. Again here, the cis form of alkene is found to be more polar than the trans form. Polar means the dipole moment. It has a certain dipole moment. And in case of cis but2ene, the dipole moment is 0.33 dBi. And in case of trans butene, the dipole moment is almost zero. Dipole moment is indicated by mu. Okay, so the dipole moment is 0 in case of trans butene, and in case of cis butene it is 0.33 dBi. Because in this structure you can observe CH3 is electron releasing and it will releases electron to the carbon, and this CH3 is also electron releasing and they are present at same side. Thus here delta minus charge will be obtained, because here both are electron releasing and carbon will get partial negative charge, and here on CH3 delta plus charge will be obtained. Thus the partial charges are obtained on the atoms and therefore they will show the dipole moment and said to be polar. And in this case what happens? Here CH3 is electron releasing, so therefore it will get delta plus and it will get delta minus. And again here CH3 is electron releasing and here it will get delta minus and here it will get delta plus. Since they are present at opposite side, the net charge or net dipole moment will get cancelled out, and thus dipole moment will equal to 0. When they are present at opposite sides, the net dipole moment will get cancelled out and dipole moment becomes 0. If the dipole moment is 0, then such kinds of compounds are said to be non-polar. So cis form of alkenes are polar and trans form of alkenes are non-polar in nature. Remember that. So this is all about the nomenclature and isomerism in case of alkenes.